In this part, I'm introducing the valuation of non-monetary asset. In the past sections, we learned how to value the property, plant, equipment in different transactions. For example, if a firm purchases its assets using cash, so the valuation of PPE equals to the cash payments or price after discount. If the purchase is under a deferred payment agreement, so assets valuation equals the present value of the future payments or future cash payments. If assets purchase is a lump sum purchase, actually we use the price of each asset to determine the cost. Please refer to the example I covered in the prior PowerPoint, the 400 lots land purchase. Is purchased by the issuance of stock. The property, plant, equipment's valuation equals to the price of the shares multiplies the number of shares issued. These different circumstances applies different valuation methods. All of these purchase, the money or currency is involved. So the price is either given or implied. In some circumstances, there's no monetary assets involved. So that's the exchange of non-monetary assets. For example, a firm uses its property, plant, equipment in exchange for other property, plant, equipment. So this one is new, this is old. Question is how to value the new property, plant, equipment or assets acquired. Because in this transaction, there's no monetary assets involved. This is also called barter. So how to value the newly acquired assets? In general, the amount should be on the basis of either the fair value of the assets given up or the assets received. We will use the value which is more evident. The valuation of the non-monetary assets exchange is complicated. We should consider several different factors. The first one is whether the transaction has or lacks commercial substance. So what's commercial substance? Basically is if the transaction has the impact on the future cash flow, the transaction is considered has commercial substance. How the transaction has impact on the future cash flow actually is on the risk, timing, and amount of the future cash flows. In this class, we do not investigate the qualification of commercial substance. All the problems we mentioned whether the transaction has or lacks commercial substance. This is one factor. The other is whether the firm received any cash and how much cash received. And this table provides a summary or the general guideline how to value the exchange of non-monetary assets. In the exchange of non-monetary assets, the firm's old PPE, the fair value or book value may differ. This will result in gains or losses. But the accounting treatment to the recognition of gains and losses is conditional. And the gains or losses recognition will affect the cost of newly acquired assets, PPE. I'm going to illustrate the guidelines to recognize gains and losses in the exchange of non-monetary assets. I'm going to use a flowchart to show you. When we value an asset under the exchange of non-monetary asset, we first should consider whether the transaction has commercial substance or lacks. I use CS as abbreviation. If the exchange has commercial substance, the accounting treatment to the gains and losses are same. We recognize gains and losses immediately. If the exchange lacks commercial substance, first we should consider whether there is any cash received. If there is cash received, this is no cash. If there is cash received, we should also consider the amount of cash. So if the cash receipts is more than 25% of the fair value of assets, the firm should recognize all the gains and losses immediately because the earnings process is substantially complete. If the cash receipts is less than 25% of fair value of the asset, losses will be recognized immediately. But gains, we only recognize partial of the gain. There will be a formula to calculate how much gain will be recognized. Under the lack of commercial substance, if there is no cash received, the gain will be deferred. Losses will be recognized immediately. What we learned from this flowchart is, no matter whether the exchange of non-monetary assets lacks or has commercial substance, whether the firm received cash and how much the cash received, the losses are always recognized immediately. The gains are conditional. If the exchange has commercial substance, the gain will be recognized. If the exchange lacks of commercial substance, but the cash received more than 25%, all the gains will be recognized. If cash receipts are less than the 25%, only part of the gains recognized. If there's no cash receipts, gains will be deferred. What I introduced in the flowchart is same as this table.